Black and White Network fans, we are back with another video, and we're going to be talking about Kim Potter. Now, Kim Potter was the former police officer who shot and killed Daunte Wright by mistake, and it was a mistake. She was actually going for her taser, but she ended up grabbing her gun by mistake, and she shot around thinking it was the taser, and Daunte Wright ended up passing away. Now, why did she actually have to actually pull a taser even though it was her gun? It's because Daunte Wright was resisting arrest. He had a warrant out for his arrest, and he did not want to go to jail. So he was fighting off the police, and unfortunately, he lost his life because this man is a career criminal. But anyway, Kim Potter now is going to serve 16 months behind bars. Actually, the total sentence is actually 24 months, so 2 years, but 16 months behind bars, and the other months will be on supervised release. Now, even the judge in this case here, Judge Regina Chu, she actually said this is no Derek Chauvin type of situation. And I believe she brought up Chauvin because there's a real possibility, man, that there will be riots based on this sentence. But this was clearly not a Derek Chauvin kind of situation. Now, even with George Floyd, I do believe that George Floyd actually contributed to his own death. We know he had a lethal amount of fentanyl in his system. Derek Chauvin was just being stupid. Okay? So two different things here. But let's read some of this here. Ex-Minnesota officer Kim Potter was hit with 16 months behind bars for killing Daunte Wright after mistaking her gun for a taser during a traffic stop, a punishment significantly below the recommended minimum. Yeah, I believe the recommended minimum was going to be like 7 years, but she only got 2 years. Judge Regina Chu handed down the sentence in a Minneapolis courtroom over the objection of prosecutors after the former officer apologized to the victim's family. Potter will serve 16 months in prison, followed by 8 months of supervised release. And this is what Kim Potter said to the family of Daunte Wright. Quote, "To the family of Daunte Wright, I am so sorry that I brought the death of your son, father, brother, uncle, grandson, nephew," said Potter, 49, sobbing as she turned to address the slain man's mother directly. "Katie, I understand a mother's love, and I am sorry I broke your heart. My heart is broken for all of you," close quote. And I do believe that she really is remorseful because she wasn't intending to kill Daunte Wright. She was intending to tase him and nothing more. The judge said that Potter honorably served her community for 26 years and hundreds of letters, painted a portrait of a woman who touched a lot of people in a good way. And this is the words of the judge here. She actually said, quote, "She never intended to hurt anyone. Her conduct cries out for a sentence significantly below the guidelines." And it says that the sentencing range on first-degree manslaughter is slightly more than 6 years to about 8.5, from which a judge can depart if there are mitigating and aggravating circumstances. Potter was attempting to arrest Wright on an open warrant April 11th of last year for failure to appear on a weapons charge when she drew a gun instead of a taser. She was trying to protect a fellow officer on the other side of the car who could have been dragged and seriously injured when Wright tried to drive off, Chu said. And this is from the judge, okay? Quote, "This is not a cop found guilty of murder for using his knee to pin down a person for 9.5 minutes as he gasped for air," the judge said, comparing the case to that of former Minneapolis officer Derek Chauvin, who was convicted of murdering George Floyd in the same courthouse. This is a cop who made a tragic mistake. And I believe the judge put that out there to really hope people would actually grasp the fact that this ain't Chauvin. You guys don't need to go out and riot and burn down anything. But I do believe that there's going to be some riots. Unfortunately, I do believe that because this is what's going to happen out there in Minnesota. Minnesota, it got really bad, man, when the George Floyd thing happened. Minneapolis was burning, and you even had politicians out there when it came down to the verdict of Derek Chauvin. Yeah, the active politicians out there calling for violence in the streets. Violence in the streets if the verdict didn't go down the way they wanted to. Potter was convicted by a jury in December of first-degree and second-degree manslaughter for the killing of Wright. Under Minnesota law, a defendant is only sentenced on the top charge. So she's only sentenced based off the first degree and nothing more. But Daunte Wright's mother did make a statement as well. She said, quote, April 11th was the worst day of my life. A police officer who is supposed to serve and protect took so much away from us. She took our baby boy away from us with a single gunshot to his heart and shattered mine. And his father also came out and said that he actually said this here. Wright's father, Aubrey Wright, called his son his, quote, reason to do better. And guys, I really do wish we had a time machine where we can actually go back in time, because I would highly recommend that Daunte Wright actually think before he acted. Think before he resisted arrest. Daunte Wright had a little kid, and he wasn't even thinking about his little kid. I believe he has a daughter, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Could be a son. But he wasn't thinking. He was thinking, I need to get away. I don't want to go to jail. He didn't think about his family. He didn't think about his family whatsoever. He made a horrible decision right there. And his life was put into the hands of somebody else. And that person made a mistake. Drew the wrong weapon, supposed to be a taser, and it ended up being a gun. Because Daunte Wright was acting foolishly. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, do you agree with the sentence of actually 24 months and actually 16 months in prison? Or do you believe that it should have been longer, or she should have just got probation, because, that could have actually been on the table as well? But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.